You're going to be the first person to transition from a human body to a synthetic.
Because I'm special.
That's right.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jacqueline, and welcome to Rotten Tomatoes Watch List. I'm here with some of the cast and filmmakers of Alien Earth. Hello, everyone, and welcome.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
So glad you're here. We're at Comic-Con. Noah, I'm going to start with you because, I don't know, people kind of like Alien. I don't know, but you figured you knew how to
shoes.
do. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Not daunting at all, but this one's really different. First of all, we're at Earth. Like, just that right there is huge. So talk a little bit about how you wanted to approach. We'll start with the alien part of it.
The good part for me as a storyteller is that there's surprisingly little mythology in the Alien franchise. We don't really know after 7 films how humanity is organized. We went to Earth a bit in Prometheus, but we don't really have any sense of it. So there was a lot of room for me to play around with. And, what's the moment in time? How is Earth in this moment? And then what's going to happen when you bring in this dysregulating element of these creatures? For me, it always starts with character and emotion. And so it was about telling the story of these people and how these creatures fit into it.
And then I'll also bring it over to you, David, because I think it's like, there's this idea of like, we all think about the xenomorphs and terrorizing people like Alex over here through, various rooms. But with this one, you really, as Noah alluded to, you had to really create the humanity. Deciding to shoot it in Thailand, like all of that stuff was stuff that y'all had to sort of like map out. How did you approach that part of it and sort of like fleshing out the world?
I mean, that was Noah's roadmap, and I think what's unusual with Noah, but essential to succeed in a show like this is to have somebody who literally can be management, head coach, and quarterback, and also knows what everyone does on the offensive and defensive sides of the ball. And he is one of those few creators that, as much as he's collaborative, he's also extremely clear-minded about what it is he's trying to achieve. And, by the time you get to the end of the process, which we just finished on the mix stage, it is really spectacular to witness, to see somebody's vision come into formulation like that. And the other part of it, that it is such an analog formulation, that this wasn't a visual effects heavy show. While there's a component of it where necessary, that it is very sort of tactile, very primal, which I think is the essence of what really created to start.
Yeah, I actually wanted to bring it to the cast on that side of it. It did feel very real, and I don't know, I can never tell what's real is what's not, but I'll sort of start with you, like Sydney, like what was it like? I mean, this is Thailand, first of all, and like a futuristic Earth. What was it like walking on set?
I got lost multiple times. I drove our PAs insane because I would get really excited and there's so many hallways. But it was incredible. I mean, we've been talking about it today, being able to walk onto each and every set. It wasn't walking onto a set, it was walking into an experience. It makes my job so much easier to be able to, you're not looking at a tennis ball on a stick, you're looking at a xenomorph and it's coming at you,
I mean,
quickly.
So. Lots of y'all, but especially you.
I agree.
All of y'all, everybody. Timothy, sir, I mean, you've been on some incredible sets too, but not as many that have this sort of look to them, this futuristic feel. What was this like for you? I'm so more used to seeing you in Westerns, and that's just not that. It's also Justified, Deadwood. I mean, I'm here with you on that.
Thank you, Jay. I appreciate it. Is an easy deal. This is, I got a call from Noah. He said, I think I have something for you. And I said, you tell me when and I'll be there. So that's the first conversation. It's a true story. Actually, my agent called me. He's like, are you doing Alien? Did I ever tell you that? I probably waited too long to tell him. He's like, dude, he's found out in a staff meeting. I felt bad. I probably waited too long. And she's like, dude, why not tell me? I said, well, I already got that job. You figure you get me another one. So it was an easy, it really was. And I will say there was a wonderful experience I took the job because of Noah. I took the job because of when we started getting into the material, regardless how vast the show is, and it is vast, it feels so very grounded. And you just can't wait to play those scenes out. There was this, quite frankly, something I hadn't thought about, which was the experience when you get on the set, and it's that pod thing and it's ridiculous how quickly you become a child and when those experiences sneak up on you. And not just me. Shooting with those scenes, you get these audible reactions from the crew. You get a lot of oohs and ahs. And it's just delightful to be a part of something like that. You know, when the material's actually also crazy good, to have those visceral experiences with these creatures and things that are so iconic, you really feel like, you know, you got something special.
I just have to quickly add, because I did have the opportunity to talk to Ridley when he saw what was constructed, and perhaps, hopefully not inappropriate to say, his response was, well, me. To think, and I was trying to appreciate in his own mind something that, you know, was created more than 40 years ago. And when we first took photos from the set and sent them back to him, and then when he saw it on screen, it's kind of an extraordinary thing from a legacy standpoint, but also, I think, quite genius on Noah's part to capture that aesthetic and then just expand it in the way that he has.
I mean, that's high praise.
It's good. I'll take it.
Alex, I want to bring it to you. You play Hermit, and the reason why I've been sort of making this joke is you even kind of see it in the trailer. You are the kind of the first encounter as these aliens land on Earth, and man, they put you through it, sir.
Yeah, a friend
a little
of mine
bit.
saw the trailer and was like, "You're going to die, aren't you?" In the first episode, you're going to die. Yeah, I mean, those things are actually really joyful because they are physical and it's an action sequence, and it's really easy to play when you have our Xeno actor Cameron Brown, fresh from New Zealand and a vegan, as we keep mentioning today, leering over you. I mean, your body responds before your brain does. So those scenes are quite easy, and then someone's over you pouring KY jelly to simulate alien drool. Simulate alien drool, right? Simulate? Right.
We're going to cut the video right there, by the way.
And scene. And so actually there's a sort of straightforwardness to playing those things. What I found most challenging in an interesting way was the smaller tender scenes that happen, particularly between myself and Sydney as Wendy. There's a delicacy that has to be found, and was so readily. I mean, I found so easy to play that with Sydney. But yeah, it makes the alien chasing stuff actually like a piece of cake.
That's so refreshing to hear, because it's terrifying to watch. I just want to say that.
Yeah.
And then Babou, your character, I just find he feels so much like a man without a country. And again, that's also from like the early trailer. He's a cyborg who signed up for this. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, I mean, there's more to be revealed in terms of how he signed up for it, which is very interesting, and I won't spoil it. But, 65 years in space, this becomes a life mission, because you've basically given up your life. By the time you get back, everybody you know is essentially gone. So, he's on a mission. He wants to make sure he gets things right, gets things back to where they need to be.
That's a good way to put it. Oh, I like this a lot. Samuel, I'm saving you for the end because you've been so lovely and delightful. We got to talk before, but you play kind of the man that sets up this horrible situation in so many ways. You're the leader of Prodigy. Talk a little bit about your character, because he's a genius, rich, like just everything. And as you, I think, said, punchable face.
So punchable. So punchable. Yeah, I think you can kind of see from the trailer, and also when the show comes out, he is somebody who is a master of his own world, and his imagination just expands to the world around him. So, the spaces that we inhabit quite a lot during the series, he owns them. Why would he bother wearing shoes if everything, even if it's a research facility, it feels like his house? He owns everything, so he can just walk around and do whatever he wants, and that was a real pleasure to play. And again, it's the same thing. You walk onto a set, and you've got the room there, like the room to play, because everything was just there, ready for us. That, it felt like a playground for us, really. We had so much fun on this.
You can tell. You can tell that y'all are having fun. And even though there's a lot of, I think, dynamic and sci-fi things to it, I do think at its heart, it's there from the trailer with your character, Wendy. I mean, she's a synthetic adult with the mind of a 12-year-old child. And look, in aliens and women, that is a long and storied history. And so I feel like your character, in a lot of ways, is like the blend of like everything. It's Ripley, it's the little girl, and a little bit of the xenomorph. Talk a little bit about her.
Yeah, I fell in love with her right away when I read the scripts, and she's so fun to play. It was so cool just watching, it all come together. But Wendy was an enigma to me, really, coming into it. The audition process was a lot of instinct and jumping straight in. And then once I was able to get on set and get into our incredible costumes and start working with this cast, I started to find her. And I think living with a character for so long, towards the end, she's kind of started surprising me. Different things would occur. You loosen up once you get to know a character like that. But the way Noah writes, you can see all of the images, all of the scenes right on the page. And she just grabbed me.
Timothy, sir, I want to ask you a little bit about, you kind of brushed over your
I love the Timothy Sir, by the way. Can we?
I'm too Southern for
anything. Can we all agree that's how it should be?
No.
Is that a problem? Is it for season 2, Noah? Timothy
I didn't tell
It's
anybody
Sir
else to do
Ridley.
this. This is
It's
just
Sir
me.
Ridley.
Exactly. See what we did there?
Sorry. I'm Southern. I can't.
So
Sorry.
great.
Thanks.
Anyway, Jacqueline, ma'am.
Yes.
What did you want to ask me?
Your transformation, it is different, and you walk differently on the show. It's not just the eyebrows, it's not just the hair. What was the prep for that like? Did you have to sort of change the way that you were looking
Prep?
at? Yeah.
You've got me confused with somebody else.
You did prepare. How did you sort of approach it? Because you're playing a synthetic, you control the other hybrids.
I love memorizing lines. And I'm not, I know I do, I really enjoy memorizing lines. I like over memorizing them. And then I tend to just show up. The writing does a lot of the work, and you make a couple of choices, and if they're good, then it relieves you of having to make any more. Just make one or two good ones.
I appreciate that. Noah, before we get out of here, I want to give you the last word. Since you now are part of the Alien franchise, part of the canon, do you have a favorite moment from the series? Have you gotten to
From
talk
the
to Ridley
series?
about it? Yeah. Anything
That I could say out loud?
I mean,
I'll say that it has a very powerful ending. And I think that, it's not an easy thing to tell an 8-hour story and both wrap things up and launch things forward. So I'm very proud of the way it ends. So you just have to watch till the end.
that feels like a bit of a con, but I appreciate it because I think it's going to be worth it. Appreciate it. Thank you all so very much. And everyone, please watch Alien Earth. And thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jacqueline, ma'am.